All right, here we are. Back to another episode of the Dad Club Japan podcast. I'm Joel.
I'm Duncan.
And this is Cheers.
Cheers. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Good to see you. It's been a while. Yeah.
I've missed you.
Yep. We're back in the record room, and we got video there, here, audio here. I mean, everything's going on today. We're trying some new stuff today.
Yeah. New year, new challenges.
Exactly. Yeah. Get out of the comfort zone and take yourself to places you've never been before.
I'm liking it.
Where have you been recently, Duncan?
Physically, mentally, spiritually. So we probably should just recap a little bit because we haven't seen each other since. I mean, I didn't see you over Christmas, New Year, or anything like that. Yeah, I wasn't really up for Christmas this year. Got a lot of stuff going on work-wise, and last year it was a big one back in the UK. Honestly, just couldn't get into the mode. Didn't even want to decorate the house. Just if I could have done it, time money-wise, I would have just gone away somewhere, like done a hot one.
Yep.
But that wasn't an option. And then being a dad, realised got to do it for the kids. And then thankfully the Christmas party at work that one of the team pushed and got organised got me more into the zone. And then very, very luckily got invited to friends for Christmas and another set of friends for New Year.
Oh, wow.
So that was great. Didn't have to host, didn't have to think about anything really. Just packed up the car, headed off, did 2 nights, I think, for Christmas, sort of Nagasaki way. Fantastic. Had a swim in the sea on Christmas Day.
You sent us a very cheeky video.
That was awesome. But yeah, that was just lovely. I mean, it wasn't too Christmas. We, of course, did stuff for the kids. But it was just lovely being with some friends. I always find Christmas difficult because you're away from everyone, right? You're away from family and things like that. So that really helped me. And then again, took a bit of a dip in between because it was kind of back to work, that weird thing. Yep. Okay, that's Christmas done. And having been away, the idea of packing up the car again and then going off for New Year, I was like, do I really want to do this? But the friends that I was with, those that don't know about Japan, normally New Year is the family thing,
right? Yeah.
And these friends, I've known them the whole 17 years I've been here. Every single year, they've had to go to the wife's parents, the in-laws, and for various reasons, they didn't have to go this year. So they were really like, please, let's get together. We want to do a party. So I was like, oh, okay. So there's about 11 of us down in the countryside, Yame way. And yeah, again, wasn't nothing too formal. Wasn't too regimented. Everyone doing what they want to do. There was a couple of other kids there. So my kids were fine. And yeah, it was just great. Actually slept in the tent 3 nights.
Wow.
Pretty cold. Pretty cold. But we did all right. And I was proud of my guys. They've grown up in the city. We haven't done that much camping. And there they were, New Year's Eve. Wow. Sleeping outside, a bit of ice on the tent.
Really? Wow,
yeah, but I honestly, it did me the world of good. Really got this year started well. So actually, yeah, I'm feeling better than I have in a long time. Looking back, I realized actually 2024 was a bit of a tough year, bit of a tough year for a few reasons. And, we've shared some of it on here and off air as well.
Yep.
And, I wasn't going to do this on air, but I did just wanted to give you a big thanks because you've been a big support of mine.
Thank you.
You've given me a lot of support over this difficult year. I've probably chewed your ear off for you too many times. But
that's what we're here for, right?
I don't know. It's a bit too early days. I mean, we're not still in January right now, but just feel like some of the fog has gone. I'm feeling clear and with purpose. I think we'll talk a bit about what we've got coming up this year, but kind of just was a good way of wrapping up last year and looking forward to what lays ahead this year.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Yeah, well, the usual. Just down south a little bit with the in-laws for a few days, and that was nice. I feel a little bit more close to my mother and father-in-law recently, in the past year or so, just given that they're kind of my de facto parents now, like I don't have any more parents, and it's kind of drawn me close to them in some way, and I sort of look to them for more like advice that I would have asked my own parents about,
Interesting.
And
Okay.
yeah, so it's been a different change, and I think I've been very what's the word I'm looking for, like specifically in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I want to change my relationship a little bit with my wife's parents, just because I don't have that anymore on my side, and I kind of feel like I want that still, or like I'm just missing out,
Yeah.
a little bit, and it's kind of like this empty space I'm trying to fill, and it's good, I get along great with my wife's parents, and I'm really thankful and grateful for that, because I know not everybody does get along with their in-laws, right?
Well, I mean, it's a stereotype, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right.
right.
But I'm curious, that sort of closeness or increasing closeness, has that been from you doing something different?
I guess it's been more a willingness on my part to kind of open up myself and share a bit more about what I'm doing, because they don't know what kind of questions to ask me. Like, they really don't know the kind of stuff, they know a little bit of this and that of what I do. But if I don't open up and share some of that, then they really just have surface level understanding. I'm trying to get a bit deeper than that,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I guess it's just been something I've been working on recently, like just trying to get deeper connections with people,
And just one other thing I want to just go back to, when you said you are trying to ask them things that you would have asked previously your own parents. I mean, we can never ever get away from, on this podcast, cultural differences and stuff. I may be judging it by my own extended family here, but I don't think it's only them. I think it's a known thing that families don't usually get so deep here. Have you found you've been able to ask as close or as deep stuff as you'd ask your own parents?
Not yet.
Right.
No.
Right.
There's still that barrier that has to be broken down a little bit, I think, and that's so built in culturally already.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how it is. I mean, it's like, I don't think I've ever seen my wife hug her parents. Like that's just something that's beyond my comprehension most times. But you get used to it, as with many things, and yeah, I don't know. So yeah, there are some things that aren't there yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever will be, but I guess I'm just making a point on my part to kind of get them to know me a bit better, and just try to ask more questions about them specifically, and kind of their history, and I guess I just I want to. Something inside of me feels like I want to get a little bit closer for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've found a little bit in my own experience that because we're not expected to know the way things are done here, sometimes I'm able to ask questions, usually with some help from my wife, translation and stuff like that. But I'm really curious. I want to know about this. Oh, that's really interesting. Did anybody know this? And people, no, we didn't even know that about that aunt. I'm like, how do you not know that? That's amazing. So yes, I think that can actually be a benefit if you are able to push things a little bit, because we don't have to follow that rules. So we're expected. Oh, we're so open and we're so this. So
totally. Yeah, and in line with that, I got my mother-in-law on video. I told her, I'm shooting this video for YouTube, and I want to ask somebody close to me, somebody I have some connection with, about their feelings about this specific topic. And it's like, are you willing to get on camera? And she, yeah, totally. And
sweet.
Yeah. So
is that out?
It is out, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's got a
million hits.
It's got about 18.
See, you're going to leave me behind. It's going to be you and the mum-in-law. I see what's happening. Can I just check one technical thing? We've lost that screen. Is it still going?
Yeah, I assume so.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind getting up and just...
Let's have a little look.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. We're trying some new things tonight.
Yeah, exactly. It's we got some technical things to work out. I guess that's going back to that. It's one of my new challenges for this year.
Yes. We talked a little bit off before we started, didn't we?
Yeah. It's new year, new challenges, new ways to push yourself and to grow a little bit. And obviously the new year, and you always think, oh, I'm gonna accomplish this or do that, and those things die fast. But I'm making an effort this year to really get back into something that I've always, I have some service level skill, and I'm not amateur, but I like making videos and like Japan related content, and just another way to. I don't know. I want to say connect, but am I really connecting with anyone? Probably not. More people who are watching me and what I'm presenting to them. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the goal is. Maybe the goal is to somehow get that viral hit and monetize the channel so I can bring in some amount of revenue. Like I know successful YouTubers. I'm aware that successful YouTubers can take up to years to become successful, and people do this stuff for a decade, and after a while they've got millions of subscribers, and sure they make tons of money. But I'm just wondering, if I put in, the idea is to put in a full solid year of video creation and see what happens. Because I've never really committed myself to anything beyond a month.
Okay.
Everything just fades out so fast. But I've always had this skill and the equipment. It's always been there. I've just never used it enough. And so this year I'm making an effort. I was like, I want to express myself a bit more and be creative in this way that I'm able to be, and see what happens.
Great.
Some doors open up, great. If not, whatever. At least I can say I pushed myself.
Yep.
I went out of my comfort zone for a year, and this happened. I'm bound to learn something from it.
Yep.
And in the end, if I feel good about what I've done, then that's the best I can hope for, I think.
Definitely. I've got my own sort of plans and stuff going on, and something I've realized, and mine is less than yours, but a year. You've committed a year
at this point, yes.
Yeah, which is huge.
Yeah,
it's a huge amount of time. So do you have any smaller goals in between, just to feel, because you're not going to feel the benefit of achieving that year until December 31st, which is a long way away. So is there any X amount of videos in the first month or somewhere within 3 months, just to have some sense of hey, I got to this first goal.
Right.
The next one's there, because it's so far in,
That's a really good point, actually. I should have those minor goals to step towards, for sure. I think initially I was like, I'm going to be satisfied if I can get 2 videos out a month.
Perfect. That's very achievable, I
right?
think.
Yeah. And
you've already got mum-in-laws up, so there must be one more.
Yeah. No, I've already hit. I've done 3 this month already. Yeah,
you're ahead.
So I'm ahead. Good. Yeah.
Let's just make sure it's 2 in February. That's the key. That's the key.
Yeah. So it's just a new year, new challenge, and
Great.
A lot of it is just getting out of the comfort zone, because I'm so guilty of getting into those comfort zones, and I'm just like, oh, this is my life, and it's comfortable, and I don't need to do anything creative or go outside of what I'm comfortable, and so I've done that already, and it's I don't know, I get into the basics and the details of it another time, but yeah, it's definitely, I'm more of an introverted person, and to put on that personality of, hey, I know you know this. You always you have that thing too, right?
Definitely. I mean, speaking specifically about content about Japan, being a international person in Japan, there are so many of those that I just can't watch. I just can't watch because they're just so.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're
corny,
they're so
cheesy, fake, almost.
What's the word? How do I say that one?
Narcissistic.
Yeah,
for sure.
And also, I think we've done a good job of being opposite on this one. But hey guys, let me tell you how amazing Japan is. Everything's great. Look at this, look at this, look at this. It's like, yeah, okay, fantastic. Maybe if you haven't been to Japan and you're watching something like that, great. It encourages you to come. But that's not the whole story.
No,
you know? And that's why I quite like that. Well, he's the only one I can really watch is that Chris Broad guy, because he'll, you know, he's very positive about Japan, but he'll also say, this one's a bit weird, and the sarcasm, of course, I like, you know, British and stuff, but so a more real take on things, I think, is, and look, man, the place is opening up. I mean, the amount of Western visitors at the moment is insane. So I think eyes are on Japan.
You've been to Osaka recently, right? And Tokyo, I think. Were you there?
Yeah,
in December.
October.
Yeah. I mean,
but even here, that's where I really notice it. I mean, Tokyo, you see people. You know, I'm kind of used to that, and I'm probably in those tourist areas. So you know, but here's been the real surprise, because I know it sounds so dumb, but you feel like you know every foreigner in Fukuoka. And you kind of do. So when I see someone, I'm like, oh, I don't know you. Who are you? And I assume they're living here, but they're not. They're here on holiday or traveling or whatever. So, and just when I have spoken to some of them, it's just so interesting why they've come to Fukuoka. You know, I always ask them, like, I'm sorry, why are you here? Yeah, I saw some Instagram or blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay.
So it's drawing people in here that wouldn't necessarily have come otherwise, you know, and Japan's kind of having a moment, you know, like the weekend, and like, you know, there's no pandemic happening, so people are traveling freely, and you know, there's no World War III yet, so you know, it's kind of in its peak like popularity moment right now, I feel, and you know, these houses that people are getting, you know, the Akiya, that's a big thing too, you know, like. Deadly cheap houses here. You know, if you want to commit to renovating and, you know, commit to some risk. But yeah, I mean, that's just another aspect, right? And so it's like I said, it's just kind of having a moment, and I sort of want to, you know, sort of be a part of that a little bit. And like,
well, did we talk about this event I went to on Nokonoshima? Did I tell you about this?
In passing briefly,
right? But we didn't talk about it on this, did we?
No.
Okay, so this was really interesting. So as you know, people that listen probably can see kind of into my music, and there's a Japanese DJ called Mood Man, who is still the best Japanese DJ I've ever seen play. Years and years ago I saw him, and he played a big event in Nagasaki that happens every year last year, and I couldn't go. I was a bit sad. So I saw he's playing this event on Nokonoshima. Just came out of nowhere. I'm like, well, why don't I know about this? Like, Nokonoshima is a small island just off, you know, it's 10-minute ferry ride from Fukuoka. I imagine, you know, some other friends would have mentioned it to me, people that are going out more than I am. Nobody knows about it. So I looked into it, and very weird. This was the first thing that sort of made me think, I'm not sure what this event is. It had a cheaper price for Fukuoka residents.
Oh, wow.
And I just thought, well, who is going to go to this that is not a Fukuoka resident? I mean, this guy's big, but he plays in Tokyo all the time. There's no reason Tokyo people are going to come down to Fukuoka for this. There's no international guests. I'm like, this is a bit weird. And I invited another friend, and he was like, what? So if someone comes from Saga, they can't, you know, what's going on? Like, okay, that's a bit weird. Anyway, we get down to the ferry port on the day, and there is a couple of very attractive young Japanese women come up to us like, hey guys, you here for the event? Perfect English, American accent. I'm like,
wow.
Yeah. No, okay. You have two choices. You can take the city ferry, or we have a taxi service, speedboat taxi service. And we're like, oh, you know, we kind of know what we're doing. We've been to Noko a few times, you know, and we're kind of using Japanese with them, and they're using English. It was all weird. We just didn't, you know. And then we just start seeing all these other you know, Western, I don't know how to say it, white foreigners arriving, people we don't know, and they're all looking kind of quite stylish, like all in black and things like this, and they're getting this taxi service, this sort of fishing boats taking them over. Okay, this is maybe bigger than we think. We get off at the ferry, we walk to our friend's kind of cabin in the woods, you know, Besso place. This bus pulls past. Hey guys, are you going to the event? Do you know what you're doing? Do you need to get on the bus? We're like, we're fine, don't worry, we're going somewhere else first. No, okay. Anyway, we rock up to this event. It was done really nicely. It's the campsite. I've been to there many a time, but it's looking great, like a really nice festival. It's got yoga going on. It's quite hippie, like sound. listen to a singing bowl and vegan ramen and all this. Music's going. And we don't hear anyone speaking Japanese. Everyone's speaking English, even the Japanese people that are there. And then people start coming up to us and like, "Hey, what are you into? What's your thing?" And I'm like, I run an English school, and they're like, "Oh, because I'm a digital nomad, and this is my new app, and this is what I'm doing. Can I just tell you about my new thing?" And we're like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And this just kept happening, and then we started to realize, oh, okay, this is actually an event for these people. That's who these people are. They've all come for this.
Okay. Yeah.
And we, obviously drinks were involved and stuff. We start sort of a little bit having fun, like, next person that comes up, "Are you a digital nomad?" It's like, "No, I'm an analog anchor. I've lived here 17 years. But it was the weirdest experience of being somewhere that I know so well. I'm basically in my kind of home city, but feeling like I'm abroad. It was the weirdest thing. And I still was like, why have all these people come? And they're coming from Singapore or Dubai and all these places. They've come for this event. I couldn't work it out. And then I did a bit more research and found out this has been a month-long digital nomad seminar conferencing in Fukuoka.
Wow.
And there's all these YouTube videos. They've gone to onsen. They've gone and done this. They've done this. Had all these meetings where they all get together. And this was like the finale. So that was like, okay, that makes a bit more sense. Like, they didn't just come for this party, they've come for all this. But it's like, whoa, in Fukuoka? Like, crazy. And the mayor of Fukuoka's in one of the pictures posing with them all. And all that sort of startup cafe and Tokyo, Tenjin, Big Bang. It's all bubbling in the same world and stuff.
Wow.
So I was like, oh, like, who would have thought it? Fukuoka.
It was on the cusp of like some major growth, it seems like.
Yeah. So,
wow.
Very interesting.
That's crazy.
Very surreal.
Yeah. It was well attended, I guess.
It was. But I thought I'm going to see so many of the people I know from Fukuoka club scene. I saw like 2 people I know. And I was like, it's weird. Like, yeah, I don't know anyone here. And I know, nor do I. It's so weird. So weird.
Crazy.
Yeah. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Wow. Huh. Yeah.
But I think that tails into what you were saying. Like, the weak yen is a huge part of this.
Oh, yeah.
Because it always used to be like, I want to go traveling in Asia.
Yep.
Where you're going to go to Thailand, Vietnam, maybe.
Yep.
Japan, it's expensive.
Yep.
Now it's not. I would say it's probably on par with Thailand in some ways.
Yeah.
It still has that mystique. Japan. Wow. I mean, the queues for the Ichiran, it's insane. 50-minute queue in the winter. Crazy, man.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, I mean, new year, new challenges. And you've got a major challenge coming up this year.
I have, yes, the big one.
Yeah.
I'm out of here in April.
Yeah.
Woo!
Back to the UK.
Back to the UK, yeah. Although,
kids.
With the kids, yeah. So, for many reasons, one, that I've been away for so long. 2, that I've never been in the UK. I've never lived in the UK in my dad role, my husband role.
Yep.
So yes, it is back to the UK, but to be honest with you, it feels like a whole new chapter.
Sure.
And you know a little bit about my past. As a child, I used to move quite a lot, and even as an adult, I moved quite a bit. I've moved quite a bit in Fukuoka. I've had quite a few different jobs here and back home. But yeah, I would say the last 10 years I have slowed down a lot. So this does feel, I remember this feeling, like starting again and doing stuff, but at the same time I'm a bit out of practice in a way, and it's kind of, is it going to work and stuff? But just remembering, you never really know if it is. And not to say that I'm aiming for this in any way, but worst case scenario, it doesn't work out, then I'll come back here. I mean, like, when you really think about a big thing, I always think, well, what's the worst that can happen?
Sure.
I'll come back here. I mean, that's, I'm happy here.
It's not a bad
the
thing.
The kids
at all.
are happy here. We're not doing it for any bad reason. We're doing it as an experiment, an experience for them. I think the timing is key. I've really seen both of my kids start to grow up a little bit. I mean, Christmas was an interesting one. You've got my daughter who's now 9. She got this huge bear which she loves. And she's, oh, he's so soft. I'm going to sleep with him and stuff. And like, yeah, you're still a kid. But then she also got some kind of stick-on nails, but not the long ones, just colourful.
Sure.
And she's sticking them on. And she's the friends that hosted us, the wife's a hairstylist. And she's very, very stylish lady. And she doesn't have kids. My kids were the only kids there. And she's going up to her, do you like my nails? Do you think this? I'm like, okay, there's that older girl coming out as well, like slightly teenage. So she's in those two worlds at the moment. Wow. So that's very interesting. Yeah, I mean, the way the school system works, this is as in the middle of elementary school as I can get it. So they've got a good base here in Japan. They'll slot into the middle. Actually, it's kind of, because of the system, they'll be in the second end, I suppose, of what we call primary school in the UK. And then when they come back, they'll wrap up 2 terms of the second to last year. And then my daughter will do her full last year here, which I think is nice. Like it shouldn't mess around too much. If that's her only time and she does the rest of her schooling in Japan, it won't interfere with that at all. Right. But if we leave it any later, I think coming back and just doing a little bit the last year, or worse, coming back and starting junior high school, I don't think that's right. So it really does have to be this year, even though there's many reasons it shouldn't be this year. There's a lot going on right now. But I think we talked about this before. I've just resigned myself to being the flag bearer. I'm out front. Yep. We're doing this. Yep. I'm hearing a lot of like, isn't this going to be difficult? What about that? I'm like, yep. Through, right? Exactly. And just as I said earlier, just being in this, I really feel like I've come out of, I don't know what I've been doing for like the last year or whatever, even longer. I just really feel so motivated, so sharp, clear clarity. Oh, this is, and I think maybe having this big challenge is helping that a lot. Yeah. So
laser focus, right?
It is. I mean, not that everything else goes out the wayside. I'm still trying to focus on everything else that's going on, but it is happening. I mean, I keep sort of looking on the, doing the old Google, how many days, and I think it's like 74 days now. It's like, Jesus, let's do this. Wow. Let's do this. But you've been an inspiration, because I know you did 3 months back, didn't you? Yeah. And not in any, I don't want this to sound like to take away from what you did, but it felt like such a big thing before you went, and then you were just back. I was like, did that just happen? Like, right. It just went, and I think it's going to be the same thing. Like, I'm purposely not doing any big farewell or anything like that. I'm trying to see people as much as I can, but there's people I won't see, and they're like, oh my God, I need to see you before you go. I'm like, I guarantee you, I will be back and I'll see you. Yep. And you're like, oh, well, what happened about that whole year? And I'm like, I did it. No. I'm like, yeah, it's been that long, man.
Yeah.
So there we go.